What's going on, Falcon fan? This your boy Ricondo coming back at you with another video. So today we're going to talk about the loss we had yesterday against the San Francisco 49ers and talk about what they're going to take us moving forward. So before we get into that, please subscribe to the channel. Please hit the notification bell so you know when I drop another video. Please hit the like button so my video can go throughout the YouTube universe. So let's get into the video. So yesterday we saw what happened. It's kind of, I guess at the end of the day, it's kind of what we kind of expected. We look at the Falcons against teams that have a little bit more talent than we have. We just can't execute like we need to. We had chances. I think we was like 1 for 5 in the red zone yesterday. But we're going to talk about that and figure out, just, try to figure out what happened in those moments where we couldn't push the ball in the end zone. We had 10 points in the red zone. Definitely could have been easily, we could have put 21 points up in the red zone. We had good field position throughout most of that game, but we just couldn't capitalize on our opportunities that we had. So my takeaway from it is that it's not surprising. I think the San Francisco 49ers is a more talented team than the Atlanta Falcons. But even saying that, we still had our chances. But what happened was execution. Execution. A lot of people want to get into the play calling. This is all what I say about play calling. You can think about any sport. All right, let's take it. We shoot the ball for half court. It goes in. People say that was a bad shot. But they don't say that because it went in. They'll say, oh, he's so great. He made those shots all the time. It's only a bad shot when it don't go in the situation. So if it was with 5 seconds left on the clock, instead of driving to the hole and they shoot a half-court shot and it don't go in, that's a bad shot. Should have dropped to the hole. But if you make the shot, shooting from the half-court, and it goes in and you win the game, everybody going to say how great he is. The same thing with play calling. People want to talk about play calling, all right? Everybody wanted, why we didn't go to, like, on the first drive we had. We got a turnover to start the game. We could have ran the ball 4 straight times. If we ran the ball 4 straight times and we didn't get in the end zone, somebody would have said, why we didn't pass it, why we didn't play action, why we didn't fool the defense, all this stuff. If we would have punched the ball in those 4 plays, nobody want to say anything about play calling. Only talks about play calling when it don't work. Let's be real with it. Let's be real. I never seen people come out and say, oh, that was a bad play, because it worked. So really, when you talk about play calling, it's all about execution. In the past we talked about the coaching, and I do believe that the coaching was an issue in the past. And the reason I say it was an issue in the past, because I think we had a more talented team, and we was losing games not because of like the plays. It was situational football that we was losing in. You look at it now, but in this instance, we're not as talented. So we're not executing. We got rookies. We got second year. Our offensive line, we got a second-year center and a rookie left guard. And we talked about they're going to be up and down, up and down, up and down. Last week, Jalen Mayfield had a great game. Great game. This week, he didn't. He looked bad. Caleb McGarry had a great game last week. Every time he was one-on-one against Bosa, he got beat. Or anybody that the 49ers had out there, he was getting beat when he had one-on-one. When he was getting help, he was holding up. When he was on one-on-one, he was getting beat. So it's all about consistency and execution. It's not about the coaching. And we should give him a break anyway this first year of coaching, because it's a new regime, a new scheme on offense and defense. We talked about the players that we have. We got a lot of guys on 1-year contracts. We got a lot of young guys. So to have 6 wins on the season, when we already talked about this, to have 6 wins on the season, I think it's good for this team. It's kind of like fool's gold. Maybe we won. We kind of played over our head, because maybe we should be worse than what we are, based off the talent. But some of the veterans and some of the execution, it works on weeks, and it works against bad teams. But then when you go get these good teams, some of the execution not gonna work, because their youth shows up, the inexperience shows up, the lack of execution shows up, the lack of knowledge in the scheme, it shows up when you playing the good teams, and that's what we're seeing. So, I mean, the truth is, and let's just be brutally honest, the Falcons got dominated on the offense and defensive line yesterday. One of the keys was to stop the run. They ran the ball up and down the field. We could not stop them. That zone scheme, Kyle Shanahan run the zone scheme better than Arthur Smith do right now. But you think about it, he had a veteran center, Alex Mack, on this squad, who knows the scheme in and out. He was with him in Cleveland. He was with him in Atlanta. He knows Kyle Shanahan offense. So he know how to make the plays. He know how to make the calls. I mean, that's what happened. We couldn't stop the run. And then when we tried to bring pressure, we got bit. Quick plays, playing zones, some of the schemes. I mean, I was screaming at the TV yesterday myself when I was thinking about George Kittle being wide open in the zone. Players being wide open. Running lanes wide open. I mean, it was bad yesterday. And when I look at games and I just see how easy it is, and see how either we didn't come out to play, or we were just so confused that they made it look easy. And I talked about this earlier. The 49ers made it look easy when they scored. Their plays looked easy. The Falcon plays never look easy. Matt Ryan was just, and I say it again, I think he's one of the toughest NFL players to ever play this game. Play 14 seasons, only missed 3 games, and get hit, how he get hit, how he get scrambling. I mean, he be running for his life all game. And he was running for his life all game again yesterday. And you have to give him props, because he just get up every play, go to the next play. Don't dwell on the last play. Don't dwell that your left guard missed the tackle. Don't dwell that your right tackle missed the block. I mean, you gotta give Matt Ryan his props on that. So I'm rambling all over the place, but I'm just venting right now about the game, and you know what I see on Twitter. Everybody talking about the play calling, and it only bad play calling when it don't work. I never heard people say that play wasn't good when it worked. If we calling the same plays, if he came out and did something different, and he got in the end zone, but then he come out the next week and do something that he didn't do before, then I could understand. But if he calling the same kind of plays in the red zone, they work. Why wouldn't you say that when it works? It's a bad call. It's a bad call. Don't matter if it works or not work. You guys got to be consistent with that. It's all about execution. These plays, they practice these plays. They practice these plays. If they went out and nobody's going to call a play that they don't think going to work. And I really don't understand why everybody keeps talking about the play calling. If you would have ran the ball four times, and still didn't get in, everybody been saying is he should have called another play. Instead of saying the real thing is we can't run on that defense because our offensive line can't get no push up front. Right? You can second guess all the time. When he pitched the ball to Cardell Patterson on that 4th down, I thought he should have ran the quarterback sneak. But if Cardell Patterson would have got a 1st down, it wouldn't matter what I thought. It wouldn't matter what you thought. It just because it didn't work, you got an opinion about it. Last week, he called a similar play on third and fourth down in Carolina out to Mike Davis, and Mike Davis got a first down. Go back and look at the tape. Go back and look at the film. I didn't see nobody saying that was a bad play. You know why? Because it worked. So we got to be consistent. Like, when it don't work, yes, you can say it's a bad call because it didn't work. But that happens all the time. Look at John Harbaugh. Go for a two-point conversion. If he would have got those 2-point conversion, it was like, oh, he trying to play to win. He missed it. The Chargers coach went for it on fourth down, 4 times? He ended up losing the game. But if he would have won the game, nobody would talk about him going for it 4 times. It always count when it don't work. That's when people have, and that's the whole ideal of being a coach. You're gonna be praised for going for it if it works, and you're gonna be scrutinized if it don't work. Go back when Sean Payton won the Super Bowl. Coming out of halftime, he kicked the onside kick. If that onside kick didn't work, everybody been scrutinized what Sean Payton did because he kicked the onside kick, but it worked. It worked. They got the ball back and they was able to win the Super Bowl. Think about it. Think about it. That's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. Like, people always want to try to criticize. Like, if you was in the shoes, what would you do? Just think about it. They get paid the big bucks. Let them call the plays. At the end of the day, they keep making mistakes. It's going to be over for them. But only reason you complaining, only reason you're criticizing, because it did not work. Instead of looking at the play that they called, look at the execution of the play and see why it did not work. That's what you should do. I'm just getting on here. I just watch football for fun. I just love football. I love the Atlanta Falcons. You guys come in here and you study film and all that kind of stuff. Talk about why it didn't work. Not the play call itself. Why didn't the play call work? Because I guarantee you, they didn't call the play for it not to work. They called it for it to work. So look at the execution of the play and why it didn't work. That's what it is. Look at execution of the play. At the end of the day, our Falcons are not as talented that we know what we know this already. They're not as talented as we thought. They got a lot of holes. It's the first year of the regime. Even though with all that saying, we were still in the playoff hunt. We're still in the playoff hunt. We're still not out of it. But I just today, and this Atlanta Falcon Twitter, just kind of get on my skin because everybody talking about the play calling. It don't matter how good a play caller you are if they can't execute the play that you call. And that's what it really boils down to. Execute the play that you call. That's called. That's all the coaching staff is asking. And if you can't execute the play that they call, then you're gonna get those kind of results. That's what happens. But I always look at it because think about it like this. Philadelphia, when we played Philadelphia in the division round playoffs, if Julio would have caught that ball, we went back to the NFC Championship game, and we'll know what would happen. But after that game, all anybody wanted to talk about was we was first and goal, and we didn't get in, and everybody scrutinized Steve Sarkisian why we didn't get in. But the execution of the play, if Julio would have caught the ball, we would have won the game, went to the NFC Championship game. That's just how it happens sometimes. Nobody would never talk about the first 3 plays where we didn't get in. They would just talk about Julio made a great catch on the sideline, tiptoe, touchdown, and we've been going to NFC Championship game. That's how the cookie crumbles. Super Bowl, when the Steelers won their second Super Bowl, when Big Ben threw the ball and what's his name got his toes in by a little margin. By a little margin. Think about it. Great execution. That's what happens, guys. I mean, that's just where I'm thinking about it today. I'm just venting today, talking about the game. Everybody talking about the play calling. We didn't execute, but at the end of the day, we got overmatched in our trenches. We got overmatched in the offensive line. We got overmatched in the defensive line. We got overmatched in our trenches. So if somebody can tell me why any of that got to do with play calling, it has nothing to do with the play calling. Because the only reason I'm saying that, because if the plays work, you guys wouldn't be talking about the play calling. Only reason you're talking about it because they did not work. Let's be honest. If the pitch to Cardell would have went for a first down, you guys wouldn't have said anything. Only reason you say that because, like, if he pitched to Cardell, he ran in for a touchdown. Oh, that was a great play. You know what would have happened? You know why I would have made a great play? Because the player executed the play like it was designed. That's why I would have ranked for a touchdown. That's the only reason why. So instead of scrutinize the play calling, these guys have a game plan. They come in and they look at tendencies and they try to figure out what the other team gonna do. And sometimes the other team make a great play as well. So that's why the play don't work. So it's always looking at the plays. Sometimes you just need to look at the execution of the play. And that's what I'm talking about today. I'm just talking about we did not execute like we needed to. The 11 men on offense, 11 men on defense. We did not execute that like we needed to. From the quarterback all the way down to the third string receiver, to the second string quarterback, to the third string quarterback. We didn't execute the plays like we needed to when we had to make the plays. So, and that's the results. 1-5 in the red zone, won't get it done because we didn't execute. Bottom line. But the reason why I think we execute, because inexperience, the better team showed up and they executed like they supposed to when they needed to. That's it. That's the game in a nutshell. So where we go from here? We still in it. Now we need help. If we would have won yesterday, we would have been the 6th seed. We would have been 7-7. We had a tiebreaker against San Francisco. Now we need help. Still got to do what we need to do. We need to win out. Probably need to win out now. We probably need to beat the Lions. We need to beat the Bills. And then we need to beat the Saints. So we probably need to win out for the season. And then we're going to need some help from some of these other NFC teams to lose and help us out a little bit. That's the only way we get in. But in reality, this team probably don't need to be in the playoffs. Because like I said, it's a new regime. I can see lack of execution going into a big game. Guys get nervous, get scared. They need to just play these last 3 games. Look for improvement out of each games. The coaching staff need to look at the talent they have and evaluate guys so they can go ahead and make a decision what they need to do in the offseason. But we're still in it mathematically, but we're going to need some help now. Vice, if we would have won this week, we would have had upper hand in the playoff hunt. So that's where we're at, guys. Like I said, I just vented today. Just being on Twitter, sometimes being on Twitter and just listening to all the experts that's out there, and they keep talking about play calling. Like they ever called the play in the NFL ever. You never called the play in the NFL. You don't know all the details, what happened to the play. You don't know why it didn't work. You don't know who was supposed to do what. You don't know what the defense was, what they thought the defense was going to do. You don't know any of that. but you call it a bad play. And only reason you call it a bad play because it didn't work. Let's just be honest. The only reason you guys call it a bad play because the play didn't work. Because if the play worked, you won't say crap about the play. Let's just be honest. The results are the results. I agree with you 100%. The results not working. So only thing you guys can go to, he didn't call a good play. He didn't call a good play because the play didn't work. If the play worked, you wouldn't say that. So let's just be honest about it. You're looking at the results, not the execution. You're looking at the results, not the execution. Look at the results of the play, and then you can come back and critique and see what happened. Did this person do the combo block like they supposed to? Did the linebacker do something that he wasn't supposed to do, that they thought he was gonna do? I mean, just it's so much things to the game of football that these guys go in and they study and they study and they study day in and day out. And then you have guys who play the Monday morning quarterback and tell them that they call bad plays and they should have went out and ran the ball 4 times. And you can say they should have ran the ball 4 times, but on the first time they ran it, they got stuffed. On all the 31s that we had, we got stuffed. What make you think we would have made it if we ran it 4 times in the red zone? You don't know that. So let these guys do their job, do what they do. We need to put some onus on the players to execute the plays like they were designed to play. Give some credit to the defense that the defense made great plays. They get paid too. So, like I said, guys, I'm venting today. That's how I feel. But some of you guys need to take a chill pill. So that's all I got. That's your boy Ricondo, a real Falcon fan, coming back at you with another video. Peace.